Okay, Amrita Tripathi with that story, our talking point. Will the Indian Muslim leadership ever get over Rushdie phobia? That's our talking point tonight here on India at 9. Joining me now is Asaduddin Owaisi, MP of the AIMIM, the party based in Hyderabad. Shahid Siddiqui now with the Samajwadi Party. Najib Jung, Vice Chancellor of Jamia University. And S. Kalidas, leading art critic and journalist. Appreciate all of you joining us. I'm going to come to you, Asaduddin Owaisi, first, because you have been among the most vociferous voices from day one in taking on Rushdie. Don't you think 24 years after Satanic Verses was published, to still ask for Rushdie to be denied a visa for alleged blasphemy is totally unjustified? It sends out the wrong signal.
Rushdie,
Yes.
first of all, we don't suffer from any phobia.
Yes.
Our opposition to this fellow visiting India is based on strong principles. That is, in our constitution, we have freedom of expression.
Yes.
But that is not an unlimited freedom of expression. We have IPC 153A, 295A. Secondly, please understand that why does the media always look at this opposition of Salman Rushdie's visit through the prism of elections or political? Please understand that I am a Muslim, and for me, I can take any criticism of Islam from you or for anyone. But there is a huge difference between criticism and an act of blasphemy. Whether it is going to be next 100 years, yes, we are not going to forgive and forget what Salman Rushdie has written. As an Indian, I have all the right.
Yes.
Let me complete. As an Indian, I have all the right to ask the Union government to stop him from coming to India. We have always been protesting whenever he has visited.
Yes.
We don't want these double standards. When it came to the issue of Gita, the whole media was after it, that how come Russia can ban Gita.
Yes.
Here you have a person who has not only insulted but has committed an act of blasphemy and sacrilege against Quran and the Holy Prophet.
Right.
So let us have a unanimity when we say we cannot accept banning of Gita. Let us also say in the same voice.
Kalidas is saying the question I was going to ask, but Kalidas, you go ahead since you raised the issue.
We don't have a blasphemy law, and thank God for it. In fact, this is the problem. Mr. Owaisi is increasingly sounding exactly as my friends in the BJP RSS sounded against Hussain. It's the same coin, the other side. And let me remind Mr. Owaisi that Ghalib in the 19th century said, हाँ वो नहीं खुदा परस्त, जाओ वो बेवफा सही, जिसको हो दीन और दिल अजीज, उसकी गली में जाए क्यों? That I know that he is not a God-fearing person, and I know that she may be unfaithful too, but to those whom faith and heart matters, why would they venture down her street? So Jaipur Literary Festival is not Mr. Owaisi's ground, so he should leave it alone.
So you're saying that if Mr. Owaisi wants, he doesn't have to attend the Jaipur Literary Festival.
Exactly.
You don't approve of Salman Rushdie. And the important point that Kalidas makes, Mr. Owaisi, since you raised it, we don't have a law of blasphemy. Let's be clear. In this country, there's no law of blasphemy. So when you cite the constitution, because you cited the constitution.
No, Rushdie, if we don't have a law of blasphemy, how can he say that? Then what is 295A? What is 153A? That is a criminal offence.
That's inciting.
Mr. Kalidas, I am telling you.
That's inciting division among communities. It's not a law of blasphemy.
Please, Rushdie, let me complete. He has quoted some couplets. Let me tell you the Muslim viewpoint. What we believe is that कि मोहम्मद से वफा तूने तो हम तेरे हैं, ये दुनिया चीज क्या है, लौह कलम तेरे हैं. Now you want to do a literary festival, do it, but by calling him over there, you are sanctioning what nonsense he has written about the Prophet Muhammad. Do you call that freedom of expression? I mean, you have all the right to criticize me, but how can you commit a blasphemy? You say we don't have laws of blasphemy. Can you tell me what is Article 19 of Indian Constitution? Isn't that an unfit? You
believe
all the relevant laws.
Okay, you believe that
the relevant laws.
So use recourse to the law. My point is, if you feel you have a strong legal case, use recourse to the law. Shahid Siddiqui, Rushdie has come to India on several occasions over the years. This is not the first time since 1989 he's coming. We haven't heard this kind of a call for a visa ban in the manner in which it's being done now? Is this happening only in a sense because the UP elections have been called? Suddenly each of you wants to play the Muslim card. Let's be honest. When Rushdie came 2 years ago, I didn't hear these noises.
Now, he was probably here 6 months
Rajiv, will you allow me? Will you allow me some time to put my viewpoint?
Yes.
We were opposing Rushdie all along, not for blasphemy, but for using the abuse. Unfortunately, none of these people have read satanic verses. I was the first to read. I read the manuscript even before the book was published.
Yes.
Kushwan Singh and myself, we were the two people who were given this manuscript by Penguin India.
Yes.
And Penguin India also knew that there will be riots, and they promised us that they will not bring the book to us. We said we will not raise our voice. So we did not raise our voice, but suddenly, without informing anybody, they brought 50 copies, and I was able to buy one copy in Khan Market, and I took it to Rajiv Gandhi, and the book was banned. But the point I'm making is that in our country, you cannot insult any religious personality. It's not a question of blasphemy. He has used 4-letter words.
That happened 24 years ago.
Yes,
Are you saying that for the rest of his life, Rushdie is not allowed to enter India?
Absolutely. Unless he apologizes, he says what was wrong, what he wrote was wrong. Otherwise you give freedom to everybody. You ban a book if somebody writes against Shivaji. Shivaji is not a religious personality. Nobody can write a book against.
That is also wrong.
Narendra Modi.
Let Kalidas respond.
Nobody talks of freedom of expression.
Okay.
Nobody raises their voice. It doesn't become a media issue.
The problem is that it is the kind of advice that Mr. Siddiqui gives to Rajiv Gandhi that led to Shahbanu also.
Now let me speak. Let me speak now.
Yes.
You were speaking. I was listening silently.
Yes.
Now media has made it into a big issue because of the UP elections.
Yes.
I have not come here as Samajwadi Party representative. Samajwadi Party has not raised its voice. I told every media person that look, I'll come as an individual. I have been opposing Salman Rushdie's satanic verses for last 24 years, and I will do it now. I will not stop doing it because there are elections in UP. Therefore, I should change my attitude, my views. That is not right. It's not political. It's not political at all. Please believe me.
You're saying it's not political, but Najib Jung of Jamia University, is the Rushdie phobia limited to the politician? That the armed Muslim on the street has moved on? Surely he has other things to worry about. Rozi is more important for him than Rushdie, whether he's denied a visa or not. Are the politicians out of touch with the mood on the street?
On the Rushdie issue, I don't think so, Rajdeep. I think a lot of Muslims are concerned.
Yes.
Because where the name of the Holy Prophet is concerned,
yes,
I think he takes a special place more than anything. I mean, like Kalidas was quoting Ghalib.
Yes.
You know, Muslims can actually take a challenge to Allah, as Iqbal and Ghalib have often done, but nobody challenges the Prophet. Now, what Shahid was saying, when I read that book 25 years ago, I was genuinely repulsed by some of the language he used.
Yes.
So, it's not a question of whether Rushdie comes or doesn't come.
Yes.
I think what's worrying me is that he does upset the sensibilities of 150 million people here.
Now, Najib, just permit me just to interrupt you on that, because when you use word that he upsets the sensibilities of 150 Muslims, tomorrow the VHP could turn around and say the same thing about Hussain. I mean, it's a dangerous road on which we are then going. Once you say Muslims are offended, tomorrow when Hindus are offended by paintings, you must take the same line, Najib Jung.
Let me take an extreme view.
Yes.
Let me take an extreme view on Hussain.
Yes.
And I'm hanging myself on a limb out here.
Yes.
Because I don't know how many people are aware of the kind of paintings that Hussain did. Vulgar paintings of Hindu gods and goddesses.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of people who should be upset with what Hussain did.
Right.
So we cannot and we should not, I think, take intellectual and artistic license to a point where it upsets so many people. We need to be sensitive to sensibilities of ordinary people. They do not have the same say, intellectual license which
Most
you and I
ordinary
and
people
many,
have not
many,
read
many of our
satanic
colleagues
verses. Most ordinary
Or are
people have probably
interested.
not read
No, you don't
satanic
need to
verses.
read.
Okay, you don't need to read, you're saying, but
You know,
but S.
that is not
Kalidas,
the issue.
but S. Kalidas respond to that.
I hope, Rajdeep, you have read it. I hope you have read it.
Yes, one has read it 25 years ago. Will the creative world then come to the defense of the Rushdie? Or
Can you tell me
Yes.
even in one line what is the story?
No,
Because
hold
my
on.
belief is that nobody reads it and everybody talks about it.
That's not true.
That is the unfortunate part.
We can debate the content of satanic
Even the
verses.
intellectuals don't read it.
No, we can debate satanic
It's
verses.
very difficult to read. It's very difficult to read Rushdie.
But S. Kalidas, the point then will come that will the creative world come to the defense of Rushdie in the manner in which it does with Hussain? I don't see the same sort of anger among so-called secular intelligentsia that I see when it comes to Hussain. Why is it? Is this seen as an internal Muslim issue between Darul Deoband, the politicians, not something to get involved in?
I think Rushdie is too far off, I mean, Rushdie doesn't mean the same thing to us that Hussain did.
But look at the point that Najib Jung is making. Najib Jung is saying he offends the sensibilities in the manner that Hussain did.
That whole argument is
freedom of
dangerous.
expression has
That whole
reasonable
argument
restrictions.
is dangerous because that is the kind of a middling argument that that for most part the Congress and the centrists have been taking in this country. For example, the concept of respecting all religions. But for heaven's sake, can't I be an atheist? Can't I be an unbeliever? And for me, that space is very important.
But you don't hurt the sentiments of others.
Yeah, the point being made is that you can't hurt
the atheist, it doesn't matter.
You can't hurt the sentiments of others and
From
get away.
Galileo to Copernicus, this story has been repeated, for heaven's sake. I mean, give me a break.
Any religion.
Okay, hold on.
It's okay. Kidzam is okay. Welcome. Kidzam is always welcome.
Okay, let me
But abuse is not welcome.
But Asaduddin Owaisi, your party, I remember, physically attacked Taslima Nasreen or tried to attack it.
Yeah, about vulgarity or abuse. Now, this is, I consider this to be a modernist challenge. With the coming of the 20th century and the two world wars in Europe, a kind of sensibility of modernism developed with Marxism.
For anybody.
No, hold on.
Which talks of satire, which talks of lampooning to the extreme degree.
Satire.
No, okay, let's hold on one by one. Asaduddin Owaisi, your party physically attacked Taslima Nasreen or tried to attack her when she came to Hyderabad a few years ago. Now you're saying you will target a Rushdie if he comes to India. Don't you think you're letting down India to the wider world? There's a wider world out there. Rushdie travels across the world. Even to Islamic countries, he has now traveled. Why should India let itself down in the eyes of the world?
Which Islamic country? Which Islamic country?
Come on, Rushdie, what are you saying? I mean, do you feel that by hurting, not only Muslims but right-thinking people, you're saying that India is let down? I mean,
Right.
what has India got to do with Rushdie?
No, the physical attack. The physical attack is the threats. I am saying, if you feel strongly, put a court case.
Rushdie had no love for India. He left India.
Rajdeep,
Yeah, one by one, please.
Rajdeep,
Yes, Mr. Owaisi.
Rajdeep, if by opposing Rushdie we are letting India down, then tomorrow someone can demand let us give him the Bharat Ratna.
I am not saying opposing. I am talking of the physical attacks. Mr. Owaisi, I am not talking of opposition. I am talking about physical attacks. Your party tried to attack Taslima Nasreen in Hyderabad physically. Now there is a threat to Rushdie's life. My point is that if you feel Rushdie has violated the law, file a court case. Let's go through a judicial process. You cite section 153, you cite section 19. Those are sections under which you can go under the law. Why is there need for a ban? He is a person of Indian origin. He can travel to India. There are other ways in which you can act. Why do you need to?
Yes, get him arrested. Get him arrested in India under 153A.
Yes, Mr. Owaisi.
File an FIR.
Yes, Mr. Owaisi.
Rajdeep, if we know when Rushdie comes and goes,
yes,
certainly we will serve him, and I wish that he comes to Hyderabad. We will welcome him in our own good way. I mean, you talk about Taslima Nasreen, those chilling pictures you have shown. Kindly please ask your bureau in Hyderabad to ask what happened to that criminal case.
Yes.
I mean, those pictures were shown as if the whole sky has fallen down on the whole world.
Yes.
I mean, why this double standards, Rajdeep?
Okay,
Because when it comes to the issue of Gita, when it comes to the issue of script of making a picture on Pandit Nehru, wherein that script was not allowed, you cannot shoot in India. Why? Because Pandit Nehru was supposed to be kissing, Edwina Mountbatten. I mean, you don't allow that. What we are saying is that you criticize us, for God's sake, you have all the right. But please understand, there's a huge difference between criticism and blasphemy.
Okay.
And there's a difference between criticism and sacrilege. This is what this man has done. Let it be 100 years also. Even if I die, my second generation will oppose Salman Rushdie.
Okay. Najib Jung, given these strong feelings that the politicians are expressing, will Muslims really vote on the basis of whether Rushdie is denied a visa or not? Because somewhere it is being now linked to the Uttar Pradesh elections. Surely the average Muslim
Nothing to do with elections. Voting will not.
Yes,
No.
yes.
No,
Let Professor Jung respond, sir. Let Professor Jung respond. Yes, Professor Jung.
Rajdeep,
Yes.
you know, it upsets me greatly that in the last 2 weeks, the Muslims of India are becoming an unnecessary football.
Yes.
Quota, non-quota. I mean, you can imagine a poor Muslim walking through a mohalla and Congress being concerned, is it 4%, is it going to be 5%, 7%? What the hell is going on? Why can't he live a regular life in this country, bereft of all these political statements? So I don't think he cares politically whether Rushdie comes or not.
Yes.
The only point I was making
Yes.
is that I think he doesn't like the idea
Yes.
of people, sane people like Mr. Kalidas, secular people like Mr. Kalidas, encouraging the idea of Rushdie coming, feting him. You know, it just hurts people, that's all. Rushdie is welcome to come. He is a former Indian. He will come. He will travel. He will, you know. And I don't think Muslims will hurt him.
Yes.
I do think that that Asaduddin Sahib is getting a little carried away.
Yes.
Because there is no need to hurt him.
Okay.
He will come. He will travel. And this, but politically, I don't think the Muslim is concerned. But the underlying hurt.
Yes.
Why is the Muslim community a political football today in the arena of UP politics?
You know, Shahid Siddiqui, you should answer that. You know, we've seen today Salman Khurshid saying we will raise the sub-quota for Muslims and OBCs to 9%. Earlier it was 4.5%. Somewhere the Muslim is being treated like a political football. You're saying the Rushdie issue is not linked to elections. But whether it's quota or Rushdie, somewhere the eye is on the voter.
I totally agree with Mr. Jung, and in fact for last so many years I have been saying that Muslims are being treated as a political football by everybody. They are used as a ladder to reach to power, and today Rahul Gandhi is doing the same. This 4.5% doesn't mean it is not for Muslims. And for God's sake, the media is saying 4.5% Muslim reservation.
Right.
The Congress leaders are saying 4.5% Muslim reservation.
Right.
Where is the Muslim reservation? It is for minorities. Please, for God's sake, don't blame it on Muslims.
Come on.
Don't blame it on Muslims.
Sir,
you blame everything. Blame it on Rio.
You say
it on Muslims.
You say it in front of a Muslim audience.
Blame everything on Muslims.
Salman Khurshid says it in Farooqabad.
As a football to get their rating. Any issue of Muslims, it's hyped up.
Okay.
That is what is happening to Muslims for last so many years.
Okay.
And you blame us. Please don't do that.
Okay.
It is the media, it is the so-called secular leaders who use Muslims for that.
Okay.
We want reservation for jobs. We want to be a pie. We want light under the sun. We want a small space under the sun. Please. We want to live as honorable citizens of this country.
Okay, you made your
and
point.
I'm speaking as a Muslim, not as a politician.
Okay.
Because I'm not just a politician. I'm a citizen of this country. I'm a Muslim.
Point taken, sir.
And I want my rights.
You've made your point. I'm going to give a final word to you, Kalidas, because the Rushdie debate is a little different because it comes to the limits of freedom of expression.
No,
I think that's the
agree.
point.
I'm not a great fan of Rushdie
Are
either.
there limits of freedom of expression in today's day and age or not?
Or
has Rushdie been provocative and therefore there are limits to freedom of expression?
Rushdie definitely has been provocative, but being provocative itself has a tradition in modernism. And B, I'm curious to know that did Deoband come up on its own, or was it prompted either by a political party or by the media? Because I don't see the Maulvis there getting involved in this debate by themselves.
Okay, so you believe that there is a political edge to what has happened?
Yeah,
Uttar Pradesh
somebody
elections,
has prompted them.
Somebody has prompted them. We leave it at that. This is, of course, a subject that attracts strong emotions. At the end of the day, Asaduddin Owaisi, Shahid Siddiqui, Professor Najib Jung and Kalidas, we are a democracy, and the good thing is we can raise these issues and perhaps do it in a civilized manner without getting into physical attacks or any form of verbal abuse. As long as we can do it in that way, Asaduddin Owaisi, I think there is space for all views to be heard. Okay, thank you very much for joining us on our talking point tonight. Where do we stand? Our editor's take. For 24 years, Salman Rushdie has been a hate figure for Muslim politicians. Unfortunately, even liberal voices within the community and outside have failed to speak out against the Rushdie baiters. It's their silence which is just as troubling as those who issue random fatwas. MF Hussain left this country to die in exile. It would be a pity if Rushdie too becomes a symbol of an intolerant India.